Hello, sweetheart. Oh, the yawnies, they're so here. Alright. Chapter 1, in which a house was built at Pooh Corner for Eeyore. One day, when Pooh Bear had nothing else to do, he thought he would do something. So he went down to Piglet's house to see what Piglet was doing. It was still snowing as he stumped over the white forest track, and he expected to find Piglet warming his toes in front of the fire. But to his surprise, he saw that the door was open, and the more he looked inside, the more Piglet wasn't there. "He's out," said Pooh sadly. "That's what it is. He's not in. I shall have to go fast-thinking walk myself." Bother. But first, he thought that he would knock very loudly just to make quite sure, and while he waited for Piglet to answer, he jumped up and down to keep warm, and a hum came into his head suddenly, which seemed to him a good hum, such as is hummed hopefully to others. "The more it snows, Tiddly-Pom, the more it goes, Tiddly-Pom, the more it goes, Tiddly-Pom, on snow. And nobody knows, Tiddly-Pom, how cold my toes, Tiddly-Pom, how cold my toes, Tiddly-Pom, are growing." "So what I'll do," said Pooh, "is I'll do this. I'll just go home first and see what time it is, and perhaps I'll put a muffler around my neck, and then I'll go and see Eeyore and sing to him." He hurried back to his house, and his mind was so busy on his way. What the hell? He was getting so ready for Eeyore, and when he suddenly saw Piglet sitting in his best armchair, he could only stand there rubbing his head and wondering whose house he was in. "Hello, Piglet," he said. "I thought you were out." "No," said Piglet, "it was you who were out, Pooh." "So it was," said Pooh. "I knew one of us was." He looked up at his clock, which had stopped some 5 minutes to 11 some weeks ago. "Nearly 11 o'clock," said Pooh happily, "or just in time for a little smackerel of something." And he put his head in the cupboard. "And we'll go out, Piglet, and sing our songs to Eeyore." "Which song, Pooh?" "The one we're going to sing to Eeyore," explained Pooh. The clock was still saying 5 minutes to 11 when Pooh and Piglet set on their way half an hour later. The wind had dropped on the snow, tired of rushing round in circles, trying to catch up now fluttered gently down until it found a place on which to rest, and sometimes that place was Pooh's nose, and sometimes it wasn't. And in a little while, Piglet was wearing a white muffler around his neck and feeling more snowy behind the ears than he had ever felt before. And here's Piglet in an armchair. I love this picture so much. And here is Piglet and Pooh. The snow behind the ears. "Pooh," he said at last, and a little timidly, because he didn't want Pooh to think he was giving in. "I was just wondering how would you be if we went home now and practiced your song, and then we sang it to Eeyore tomorrow, or the next day, if we happen to see him." "That's a very good idea, Piglet," said Pooh. "We'll practice it now as we go along. But it's no good going home to practice it, because it's a special outdoor song which has to be sung in the snow." "Are you sure?" asked Piglet anxiously. "Well, you'll see, Piglet, when you listen, because this is how it begins. The more it snows, Tiddly-Pom." "Tiddly what?" said Piglet. "Pom," said Pooh. "I put that in to make it more hummy. The more it goes, Tiddly-Pom, the more—" "Didn't you say snows?" "Yes, that was before. Before the Tiddly-Pom? It was a different Tiddly-Pom," said Pooh, feeling rather muddled now. "I'll sing it to you properly, then you'll see." So he sang it again. "The more it snows, Tiddly-Pom, the more it goes, Tiddly-Pom, the more it goes, Tiddly-Pom, on snow. And nobody knows, Tiddly-Pom, how cold my toes, Tiddly-Pom, how cold my toes, Tiddly-Pom, are growing." He sang it like that, which was the best way to singing it, and when he had finished, he waited for Piglet to say that, of all the outdoor hums for the snowy weather he'd ever heard, this was the best. And after thinking the matter out carefully, Piglet said, "Pooh," he said solemnly, "it isn't the toes so much as the ears." And here's Piglet talking about her ears. By this time, they were getting near Eeyore's gloomy place, which where he lived, and it was still very snowy behind Piglet's ears. And he was getting tired of it, so they turned into a little pine wood and sat down in the gate, which he led into it. They were out of the snow now, and it was very cold. Oh. And to keep themselves warm, they sang Pooh's song right through 6 times. Piglet doing the Tiddly-Poms, and Pooh doing the rest of it, and both of them humming at the top of their... thumping at the top of the gate with pieces of stick at the proper places. In a little while they felt warmer, and were able to talk again. "I've been thinking," said Pooh. "And what I've been thinking is this. I've been thinking about Eeyore." "What about Eeyore?" "Well, poor Eeyore, he has nowhere to live." No, he has," said Piglet. "You have a house, Piglet, and I have a house, and there are very good houses, and Christopher Robin has a house, and Owl and Kanga and Rabbit have houses, and even Rabbit's friends and relations have houses or something, but poor Eeyore has nothing. So what I've been thinking is, let's build him a house." "That," said Piglet, "is a grand idea. Where shall we build it?" "We'll build it right here," said Pooh, just by this wood, out of the wind, because this is where I thought of it. And we will call it Pooh Corner, and we'll build your house with sticks at Pooh Corner for you. There's a heap of sticks on the other side of the wood, said Pivot. I saw them, lots and lots, all piled up. Thank you, Pivot, said Pooh. What you have just said will be a great help to us, and because it could be called this place Pooh and Pivot Corner, if Pooh Corner didn't sound better, which it does, being smaller and more like a corner. Come on. So they got down off the gate and went to the other side of the wood to fetch some sticks. Christopher Robin had spent the morning indoors going to Africa and back, and when he had just got off the boat, he was wondering what it was like outside, and who should come knocking on his door but Eeyore. Ooh my. And we'll finish this tomorrow in a nice big old-fashioned story. Finale. And I can listen to some wonderful Keats. Because then I'll be home. So in the meantime, Crispy. Sleep wham, keep calm, find a llama, carry on. I love you dearly. I'm sorry about earlier. It was really mean. But I don't want to do it again. I don't like doing it now. Make sure I watch myself nice and tight. And always let me know if I'm being a jerk. I love you, Christy. I'll be home soon. I'll see you in a couple days. I love you, Christy. Good night.